I'm really honored and happy to have the opportunity to talk to you guys and talk about a little bit more on future skills, ML and AI, and any kind of software developer needs today and in the future. And before we start, I mean, probably some facts about myself, who I am, and why am I standing here. So my name is Ekrem. I'm the data and AI lead at Microsoft Germany, and also co-founder of GDEXA, which is the Global Digital Excellence Association. I just tried to summarize my personality in just 3 areas. So I'm multicultural. I'm a son of a mining worker family who migrated from Turkey to Germany decades ago. So I have a multicultural background. I born and raised in Germany. I was in Singapore in Asia. I was taking care of Europe and US. So my background, my personal background is quite multicultural, carrying 2 passports and nationalities, and also working always in a multicultural team. I define myself as a lifelong learner. I just did my MBA, my global MBA 3 years back in Singapore. So, and I'm really a big fan of continuous learning, because we can learn it all. We don't need to know it all. So that's why I think this is the credo of my life, to just say, hey, we can anytime until the end of our lives learn a lot of things. And I'm a digital native, digital born. So working in the big data area since 15 years. So digitalization and mobile and e-commerce, all these kind of buzzwords, which are rising today quite tremendously. This is how I grew up. So, and I'm happy really to get in touch with you. Here's a barcode of my LinkedIn profile. So happy to get in touch and also continue our conversation. So as we all know, it's a huge digital disruption going its way, and even COVID boosted this trend even more, which means the world is digitization. Every industry is using digital technologies, whether for collaboration, for homework, remote learning, homeschooling, or even for workers who used to work on the plants. So, and according to the World Economic Forum, which had a study 2 years back, 75 million of jobs will be displaced by 2022. What does it mean? I mean, digitalization and also automation will really shift the ratio of humans and machines more to the machines, which means we, as the worker, we need to reskill ourselves, we need to retrain ourselves in order to really succeed in the digitized future. And also, if you look at the upcoming generation, 2/3 of the children who started school in 2016 will do a job which is not existing yet, right? So think about the social media creators, influencers, YouTubers, and these kind of jobs, and even data scientists, for example. They were not existing a couple of years back, and even more jobs will arise in the future. And in total, 133 million new jobs will be created. This is what the digital future will do with the workforce. But at the same time, while running this digital transformation, there's a huge skill gap existing, which means the economies and the companies are really facing a huge challenge in terms of finding the right talent for the right jobs. Because every industry, every company is running digital transformation projects using new technologies, but there's a mismatch between the academic theoretical career we're all getting from universities and schools and the trends and developments in the market, which means the supply and demand is a huge imbalance. There is much more demand in the market at the company side than the supply from the universities. So we need to tackle this. And I think this is also one of the trends we see, that almost every company is heavily investing in training and development, because almost every profession, and it's not only the IT related jobs, but also every medical practitioner, every lawyer, every teacher, all of these more traditional professions need also digital skills. And this is something which really creates a huge skill gap in the economy, which we need to tackle. And the result is quite tremendous. there's a huge talent shortage in the industry. So everyone is looking for talents. There's a war for talents. And if some of amongst you are an ML or AI developer, I mean, bless you. I mean, you did it great. This is the most demanded or one of the most demanded jobs. But I think it's not enough. There even the demand and need is for even more. And at the same time, as mentioned, new jobs will arise. So rather than finding the right talent, it's really difficult to find people actually. And also the digital gap will really, I mean, go into almost every job, every profession, and every industry these days. And if you double dive a little bit into the ML and AI space and ask the companies, hey, what is the biggest challenge? Why you're holding back from AI and ML adoption? And it's really the skills of stuff, right? They mentioning, and it's true for every global economy and company in the world, that their staff they are employing have not the required skills to really succeed in the digital transformation project. At the same time, the ML developer, data science, and then big data engineers are quite high demanded. There's a war for talent existing, and it's one of the sexiest jobs in this century. So, which means there's a lot of desire on the market to really hire those people. But even though that the future is bright in terms of every year there's no more developers, more engineers on the market, so then the companies who are on the front runners have to decide, so which one to take and which kind of additional skills we need. And here comes exactly the topic for today, the future skills. So how you can increase your profile and increase your personality next to your hard skills in terms of software engineering with other skills, which makes you really relevant in the future. And we do try to kind of simulate a conversation you may have in the future, or the upcoming generation gonna have in the future when they're applying for a job, or when they're talking about a new project in their environment, in their company. So, and then imagine really the situation. First one is that you're gonna ask, can you explain how we can automate our supply chain with the use of AI and ML, right? So very concrete question. It's not related to any AI or ML technology, is really related to a supply chain process. So are you able to answer this question? The second is very similar, where someone from the automotive industry, and it's not Tesla, because Tesla is employing way more software developers than other stuff. Someone asks you, tell us a bit more about the successful business cases in the automotive industry. So why is Tesla so successful? What are the secrets of success? And then what make them different to others? Are you able to explain this? Another example, another situation could be that you as an ML and AI developer working on your job since a while and quite successfully worked on a lot of projects, got the question or the offer, hey, we have an R&D center in Asia, or we are going to develop one. Do you have experience in working in such remote teams with Indian, Chinese, European people? So can you do this? Can you build up the R&D center? So ask yourself if you will be ready for this. Another situation, the finance department who has no IT knowledge at all, they would like to use new technologies like ML. So, but they're quite persistent in that. So what will be your strategy to convince a non-IT person to use an ML algorithm? And the last but not least, to just close up the loop is, someone asks you, hey, this is our very first ML project, and we have no one. You are the first one to be on site. So can you please build up a team of more ML developers? Can you do this? So, and the situation is as follows today, that the answer, hey, I'm good in Python, I can do R, and I'm mastering in Java or MATLAB. Just imagine, do you think this answer would be sufficient in this kind of conversation? I think not. And the point here is quite clear, right? So we need soft skills. We need more skills than technical in order to really run this kind of conversation and really succeed in the future, because this will be the future questions you're going to be facing. And if you look into, of course, it's not my personal opinion here. It's rather also testified and verified by recent studies that if you look at the left-hand side, the technologies companies most likely to adopt by 2022, of course, machine learning, big data, cloud, IoT, these are the top ones. On the other hand side, also, if you see what kind of reskilling demand is existing, you can see the pie chart illustrated that more than half of the companies are thinking about reskilling. So, and if you ask what kind of reskilling activities it's going to happen, it's look at the table here. The trending skills is analytical thinking, creativity, critical problem solving, leadership, emotional intelligence, and those kind of skills and techniques. So, which means your hard skills in software engineering, in AI, ML are great, are necessary, are the foundation for everything. But you need to build up also your soft skills on top of that. And here is really the suggestion of the top skills for the future, which we try to summarize, and where we think this could really enhance your profile tremendously. Is you need to know what's going on in the industries, and you need to know how in these industries the business processes are managed and what are the challenges in these kind of business processes. So this is, I mean, quite important, because wherever you work, whether it's a tech company or a corporate, there is an industry relevance in there. So, and you need to really master and know what are the biggest challenges, and how can my technology skills help to increase this industry, to automate it, and to digitize this industry. And the other thing is, you saw this in the simulations of those conversations, storytelling, right? There's a CFO in front of you. There's an HR head in front of you. There's even a teacher in front of you asking you, hey, what is this tech all about? You need to be able to tell the story about how AI, ML, big data, cloud, whatever the technology might be, can help these individuals to really make their life easier and make their jobs easier. So you need some storytelling techniques, and also the communication is quite king, right? So we as technical people tend to be technical, tend to be really proud of these skills we are mastering from the technical point of view. But simplifying this, summarizing it, and making it very clear from the communications point of view is key for the future. Otherwise, people won't understand us. And what comes even more relevant is teamwork. And teamwork is more than just, I mean, having fun together. In these days, you also need to be able to run teamwork remotely. And also remote means suddenly the world is small, right? So the teams are containing of multicultural, multi-background, multi-language, multi-country. So this is also something you need to be just open in terms of, hey, I'm working with someone with a completely different mindset about the work, about the working hours, about attitudes, about values, right? So when we need to be open in order to understand, to respect, and also find it common sense to work with them together. And these are the top three skills where we think you should master. And the good thing here is, compared to your hard skill, these skills will last forever. This is something which is tightly related to your personality, to your style, and this will be never outdated, right? And I think you got the point. 10 years back, R was the trendy programming language for AI and machine learning. These days, it's Python. And maybe in 10 years' time, there will be another programming language, or even in 6 months, right? So you all know that technology is on a fast pace, but these soft skills will last forever. So this will be always your asset. You should always be mastering this, and this will be never die, right? So that's why we encourage you strongly to go more into that direction and increase your skills in that area. And one way how you could do this is really the way we at GDEXA developed, where we say, okay, the human touch is still relevant, We are not sending you to some YouTube videos or online courses or whatever. We are bringing you together with thought leaders from the industry, global mentorship. And of course, not only GDEXA is doing this, right? So you can also run this mentorship with your own initiative. So what we strongly believe is in this human interaction, that we learn from the experts, because there are a lot of thought leaders and experts out there, and you can go to LinkedIn and just search, and you will find a lot of people, and most of them are open-minded and happy to help. What we did, we summarize and collect all these thought leaders globally and providing a personal coaching. Like you have your parents, your best friend, or your spouse for life advice. Hey, I need to lose weight. I need to go to the overseas. So we have suggestions for me. So everyone has his personal life for every private related topic. But in terms of career, this is lacking. And this global mentorship can really help you to bring it together with thought leaders who run this way, who have a story to tell, and who can give you really different perspectives to really shape your digital career, to understand where are your gaps and where to succeed further. On the other hand, of course, practical experience is also key, because this is the other point where a lot of young people have an issue with, saying, hey, I'm applying for great jobs and I'm really advanced and I have the skills, but I don't know where and how to apply. So where are the real world scenarios? Where are the use cases? And here with Digital Labs, we are trying to organize projects and hackathons where we're saying it's an experimental learning. It's learning based on real use cases from the different industries. And it's not focused on hard skills. It's really focused on soft skills, on collaboration, problem solving, creativity, design thinking, all those kind of skills we are bringing together in the Digital Labs. So this is just one way, but the key message here is find your mentor, find projects to apply your theoretical knowledge in order to gain soft skills and complete your profile in that manner. And if you go after mentors, I mean, this is something which needs to take care of here. These are just advertising for GDEXA, the next two slides, a personal one-to-one coaching. This is quite important that these persons are really related to you, to your goals and objectives, to your passion. So the personal coaching is quite important. The expertise in the relevant area is of course a given, but also learning from a different perspective makes also sense, right? If you are in machine learning, data science, just talk to someone from completely different area, just to really get this new perspective. And also this will ultimately lead to career advisory and also increasing your global network, because learning from others and also learning from other countries and other cultural backgrounds will also help you to really enhance your point of view and really give you fresh ideas in order to succeed. So, and the way the projects are running, as mentioned, we are focusing quite on soft skills, which means it's always starting with a kind of a business use case ideation and whiteboarding session, where we are just giving some food for thought, some kind of ideas, some kind of real world scenarios, snackable insights, and let you really design the project, design the challenge, and also design the problem you may face or the industry may face. And this is the first step where we are really, I mean, trying to encourage your creativity, and where also teamwork is quite important. The next one is really like, I mean, being more structured in the way of, okay, how can I put this into life? What kind of necessarily steps need to be taken place in order to work on a high level architecture, to working on a functional and technical design? And what are the business benefits among this, right? So this is something which we are continuing on. Then the execution happens in an agile format. I mean, everyone is working in agile methods these days, but this is just executing and really running things in parallel. And it's, as I mentioned, it's not necessarily hard skill related. So the overall objective shouldn't be a MVP. It could be also a feasibility study or a PowerPoint slide deck. The core objective here is really that you run and simulate the steps of a pilot of a solution. And overall, the results will be an elevator pitch, 10 minutes presentation, where we are asking for your storytelling skills, for your communication skills, and all these kind of rhetorical expertise. And overall, I think this is something which really helps to get your hands dirty in terms of a real world scenario, as well as soft skills and really the relevant capabilities you may need in the future. So with that, I would like to thank and open up for the Q&A session. Hope this was quite insightful. Behind GDEXA here is a team of volunteers and yeah, digital shapers, we call ourselves. We will be happy to get in touch with you or get any comments and likes through the different channels. And with this, I would like to thank you all. And yeah, I don't know if a Q&A session is going to happen. If so, I'm also happy to answer any questions.